Hello, my name is Sonsoles Fuentes and I'm a PhD student at Santé Publique France. Today I would like to present to you my work on trends on prevalence and incidence of diabetes in France. As you know, a plateauing of diabetes epidemic has been observed in Western countries. And so our research question was, is type 2 diabetes epidemic also plateauing out in France? To answer that question, we described type 2 diabetes prevalence and incidence rates between 2010 and 2017 in France, and we declined the results by sex, age, and geographical region. And we also assessed the annual time trends over the study period. To assess these trends, we use the French National Health Data System, which is called Système National des Données Santé, which is one of the biggest health administrative databases in the world. It covers the whole French population. It means 66 million people. And we have individual and anonymous data on these 66 million people, on out-of-hospital healthcare reimbursement, and also on hospitalization. So first, we identify the diabetes cases using a validated algorithm. And with these diabetes cases, we create a retrospective cohort, which allow us to identify the incident cases. With the prevalent and incident cases, we estimate the crude and age-standardized prevalence and incidence rates for the study period. And after using negative binomial models, we assess the annual time trends over the study period. So here I'm going to present to you the results. First, when we have a look of the evolution of prevalence and incidence by sex, we can see that in both sex, the prevalence increased a little bit, and there is a decline in the incidence rates between 2012 and 2017 in both sex. This decline in the incidence rates is confirmed by the results of the negative binomial models, where we observe that incidence among men has decreased by minus 90.6% and minus 3.9% among women. When we decline these results by age, we observe the same results. There's the incidence in 2012 was higher compared to the incidence in 2017 through all age groups, both in men and in women. Finally, we assess the evolution by region. Here I'm presenting you two maps where we can see the age-standardized prevalence in 2017 in France. The first thing we can see is that the regions with the highest prevalence in France are the so-called French overseas territories, 3 in the Caribbean region, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Guyane, and 1 in South African region, La Réunion. Which is also very interesting is that in these regions, conversely to metropolitan France, the prevalence of diabetes is higher among women compared to men. When we have a look to the evolution of incidence rates, we can see that is in these regions, the so-called French overseas territories, where we observe the strongest decline in incidence rates, both in men, but especially among women. So, as a conclusion, we can say that the decreasing time trend on incidence of type 2 diabetes in France is a glimmer of hope in the control of diabetes epidemic, but it should encourage further efforts on diabetes prevention. Thank you.